Day in the life of an entrepreneur who makes 100K a month back in his hometown. Let's go. It's my third day back in Virginia, away from my $6,500 a month apartment in downtown Chicago, and I woke up to $1,871. And so it's 12:30 right now. It's late as hell. Didn't sleep till like 2 a.m. stressing about how my team wasn't closing as much as they should be. And I guess I was proven wrong because I made $3,192 yesterday. I don't know, there was just like this internal pressure. Like every time I go back to home to Virginia and I like take a break, it almost feels like my business is gonna self-destruct and destroy without me, which I know isn't true. I guess subconsciously, there's always like this need for control. And when I'm not focusing on my business and I'm trying to take a break, there's almost like this relinquish of control. And I always just have to remember to myself, like, I won't be able to achieve freedom unless I let go. Because clearly the business is still doing fine. Like I made $3,000 yesterday. I already woke up to $1,800. I'm fine. So I just have to learn to myself, it's not all about you. You work so fucking hard to build the right systems, the right automation, the right team to be able to perform without you. And so now when I'm finally able to enjoy that, reap the benefits that I worked so hard for, it's almost like I can't enjoy it for some reason. But hey, $5,000 the past day and a half. It's pretty good. So today, even though I woke up at 12:30, still got some stuff to do. I have an eye checkup appointment in 2 hours because your boy is blind and needs to get his contacts prescriptions updated. Right after my eye checkup appointment, gonna take a couple meetings for my business. And then after those meetings, gonna hang out with my boy Pan. I think we're going to this Korean barbecue place. Then afterwards, gonna drive like an hour back home based on my girl and wrap up the day. So exciting day ahead of us. Let's get it started. Okay, I'm about to drive for the first time in like 4 months, 3 months since last August. And let's see if I remember how. I don't have a car in Chicago. Driving in Chicago is honestly a scam. It's a lot better to just Uber everywhere, kind of like I do. But the only con of that is your driving skills get mad rusty. So we'll see what I can do with this. Ah, shit, am I gonna be late? Fuck. Dude, I might be late. All right, pray to God, let's get there safely. And let's get this started. Oh shit. I'm on the grass. All right, let the adventure begin. Okay, I'm so late. I'm like 15 minutes late right now, but all good. Not gonna lie, this is my first time here. Doctor's office with my new insurance, so very interesting. I've been waiting for like 45 minutes now. It's been an hour. I'm bored as shit. Man, it is an hour and a half now, bro. So update, I waited there for 2 whole ass hours, and they told me when my time is ready, my name on the TV, there's like a whole list of names on the wait list, my name will turn green, and then I head down to the doctor. The only thing was my name never turned green for 2 whole hours. After 2 hours, they told me to go downstairs to the basement to see what's up, and then the doctor just canceled my appointment. I was there for 2 whole hours, and then they said the earliest I could reschedule is on Friday. But the only thing is your boy's leaving on Thursday, so they fucked me, bro. They literally fucked me. Really frustrating. Fucking hate the doctor's office. And specifically, Dr. Tubin and Kaiser Permanente in Springfield, Virginia. 1-star review. Total ass. You messed with the wrong fucking person, I'll tell you that. But anyways, I got a meeting in like 40 minutes and I'm about to chill out with my boys. But bro, that was such a fucking waste of time. All right, about to go to my nearby Starbucks cafe. Take this meeting. Let's take a look and ease off a little bit. Enjoy beautiful Virginia. All right, just wrapped up the meeting. I am dead, but time to get some Korean barbecue with my boys. Just got done hanging out with the boys. Always good seeing them. There's not a whole lot of people I hang out with. I probably name like 5-6 people off the top of my head I still like am close with and still fuck with. I think it just goes to show, like, Alex Hormozi talks about this a lot. Like, if you're only able to talk about the past, then it's a sign that it's not really a true friendship anymore. It's more like
nostalgia for you. But it just goes to show how many people like actually supported me when I first started entrepreneurship. Like, if you didn't know, back in college, I had like the ideal college life.
Turn right.
Like, I had a Microsoft internship lined up, I had a year-long relationship, a massive social circle, I was in a frat. So I had everything going for me. It was like the perfect life as a college student. And then the second I started entrepreneurship and started posting, so many people started talking shit, talking behind my back, saying like, why is Renzo doing the things he's doing? Like, that's embarrassing, that's cringe. And it affected me for a while. Like, the people who I thought were my friends weren't actually my friends. Like, they weren't there for me. So there's only like a couple small handful of people that actually supported me through this journey, even before I made it. And so those are the people I'm still tight with and I still hang out with to this day. But it's all about intentions. There was a lot of people once I started making it, making money, traveling, moving to my dream apartment, living my dream life. A lot of people who were hating on me, who were talking shit, started asking me for help, started asking me like, how can I get to where you're at? Your boy's kind of petty. So I always remember what people did to me. Not in a sense of like anger or hatred, but I'm always cautious and always aware of like, what are people's true intentions? Like, are you with me at my low, or are you only with me when I'm at the top? And so if you ever think like me, wondering like who's your real friend and who's not, the best way to find out is start posting. Post on social media, post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and see who are the friends who actually support you doing it, and who are the friends who call it cringe, who are the friends that talk shit behind your back. Because you find out really, really quickly putting yourself out there online. I think I'm just blessed and grateful that even back then when I wasn't as confident, I wasn't as strong as I am now, I was able to keep pushing through. No matter what people were saying, no matter if people liked it or not, it became selfish. Like, I did it for me. Because like, I knew if I didn't start posting online, if I didn't go for it, 60, 70 years from now, like when I'm in my retirement home, I would always be thinking to myself, what if I actually went for it? Like, what if I took that leap of faith? What would have happened? So for me, like, I always choose to live life in the fear of regret instead of the fear of failure. And that's the reason why I am where I am today. And I'd say a big reason I was able to keep pushing too is because I did have those true friends that supported me no matter what, that fucked with me even though everybody else is calling me cringe. All I'm saying is keep the people that did support you around, and those that don't support you, those that talk shit, those that aren't pushing you and motivating you and cheering you on to reach your goals, like, those are the people you gotta cut off. So if you're focusing your thoughts and your attention on people who don't give a fuck about you, people who don't care, people who don't want you to reach your goals, then you're literally taking your time, energy, and attention away from people that do fuck with you, that do support you. Like, I have a very, very small circle I trust and very small circle I actually fuck with, because I want to be able to give the people in my circle the time and energy to show that I care. Just got back home, about to go to sleep, but official numbers for the day, $2,475. Not amazing, but not terrible, just okay. As always, if you are interested in learning how exactly I'm able to make all this money without really touching work, I just made a free course breaking down exactly how I made $2 million profit, just type messages on my phone. Now you can do it too, or make like 3 to 4K a month from home if you want. It's on YouTube. Check out this playlist right here and get a pen and paper out because it's gonna be saucy. So again, check out this playlist right here and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.